Now, one of the most difficult things in access control is actually managing the access control, creating the accounts, assigning permissions and privileges, but then managing its whole life cycle. And we're going to get a little bit deeper into that where we talk about identity management. But a lot of environments have accounts that the people have quit, and they're called orphan accounts that are not being used anymore. Attackers love that because they can find out the credentials for that account and work as a legitimate user, and no one would know. And also, we give everybody too much access. Almost every organization each user has too much access because it's hard to determine, Fred, does he need access to the file server? Well, what does he need to have? Read, write, modify. What about the printer? What about this? What about that? So it's difficult to actually figure out exactly what level of access each user account needs, and that's why identity management is really becoming big in the industry, and why it's on the CISSP exam. And we'll get into that in this domain. Now, another difficulty is that it's not just user accounts on an operating system that you have to worry about, but there's user accounts on databases, applications, different platforms, the mainframe, and each one of them all need different permissions and access levels. So our environment is very complex with the level of the type of software that we have out there, but all the users who need to access different things to keep track of that properly is pretty difficult. Again, why identity management is becoming more important in the industry. So one of a best practice thing to do is that when you get a new employee, they need to read the policy and understand what they're supposed to do as it pertains to the company assets and information. They should go through some type of security awareness training, and then it's best if you actually have them sign a document stating, yes, I've read the policy, or yes, I've gone through security awareness, because that gives you legal protection. If the user does something that they're not supposed to with your critical data, they can't come back and say they didn't know. And there's a lot of cases where the actual employee, the fired employee, won because the company did not do what it was supposed to do. So it's a good practice is after you tell somebody, they go through a class or they read the policy, that they actually have to sign saying that they understand.